everyone, I'm Heather and welcome back to my channel. So we are back today with I Was a Teenage Exocolonist. In the last one, we did experience our first glow with the new colony members and it went relatively smoothly. So I'm expecting something big to happen still. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, I believe we were planning to go out. And that's why we're here, because I'm trying to find the stuff that will help us with the Shimmer, the pink allergen. And we have no stress, so that's what I want to do. We are in the valley. All right. I am hoping that they have not filled this back up again. Now, we do have a bunch more items, but we did get a new perk. Oh, they did fill it up again, didn't they? They did. It's a new thing, so we have to go through all this again. Well, that's not helpful. Okay. Something about the ground draws your attention. It's oddly lumpy. What's up with that? Okay, scope it out. Huh. Okay, physical. So I guess we could do this one, and this one. Okay. I want to do that, but no, I don't want that. Get back. I want this one. Then 5, then 7. Okay. And now we only need 9. Okay. So let's do 0, 1. Oh, okay. I was going to do just because we actually had 0 through like 5. So that's what I was actually trying to do. Well, I guess I could try for the super thing. Yeah. I didn't want to lose a kudo, though, so I left that one. I don't like, though, that this is giving me the stress. Whoa, it's a potato minefield. Underground, the recent rain has swelled the young melons to bursting. You better watch where you step or you will end up knee-deep in potato juice. The good news is, they're tasty. They're so dang heavy, the calorie-to-weight ratio isn't optimal. Most are too young, but you find a ripe one, dig it up, and roll it back to the depot. Okay, now we climbed up this one last time, so we'll actually try the Whisper one. An absolutely enormous tree forms part of the path here. Its roots cut natural stairs into the path, and its magnificent canopy of large flat leaves completely blocks out the sky. They arch overhead almost to the ground on the other side. Walking under it is like going through a tunnel. In the tunnel is dark and gloomy, unseasonably cool, and filled with the whispering of leaves. You get the sense that something is aware of your presence. Okay, so let's whisper back. We climbed up it last time. 63. Okay. +1 to physical red cards. Well, we're not going to have that. Let's do 3, 4, and 7. Not great. Because that one would have been good. I guess we'll do it like this. 3, 4, and 5. I think that might... Yeah, that gives us 6. Now, we are having some issues here with nothing so great. See, that's not going to be helpful at all. That's only if we have, like, very low cards. But I mean, I guess I don't have that much left. Okay, let's do 3, 4, 4, 4. And that's super gold, so we don't even have to do another one. A nearby leaf unfurls and offers you 2 large, hard nuts. You feel a sense of peace and cooperation wash over you, like you and the tree have an understanding. Eat one, plant the other. You crack one of the nuts and eat the meat inside. It's bitter, but tasty. You take the other one to a clearing about an hour away and plant the second nut. Good luck, haunted tree. Okay. You hear a rustling in the bushes and catch a glimpse of a shadowy figure. Could it be a person? Whatever it is, you quickly lose sight of it in the jungle. Let's follow it. The wilderness is thick here, as is the fog that comes in waves. You'll need to rely on your tracking skills to go further. Sure. 65. I mean, we've done it before. Okay, so... well, that's not really going to help me. So let's do 5, 6, and 6. Not great. Okay, 3, 3, 3, and 5. Okay. See, look at all these crappy 1 cards. But this will give us for unplayed cards. So let's do 1, 5, and 7. Okay. Okay, that's good. We need to get rid of some of those 0 cards, and we're certainly not going to make it all the way through this today. You're looking for a person, so it's a surprise when you come face to face with a weird-looking creature. It kind of looks like a person, a bit, more like a tree really, some relative of a bush bub maybe, but more tentacles and slime, like a tree oozing with gooey sap, with 2 legs. Yuck. It makes a sort of baroo noise at you as you back away. We've done that one before. Can I get around? I cannot get around. You come across a cluster of mushrooms. Are they edible? There's only one way to find out. Well, there's a few ways if you're not a coward. Okay, let's identify them. Okay. Card becomes blue, so let's do the red one here. Then the blue, because it'll connect those. I don't like that. I guess we'll do that. I always use the gem card, and then I need a gem card. Okay, let's do 4, 5, 4, because it at least links those colors. Maybe 0. Okay. I dislike this whole... well, I mean, I guess if we don't use these cards, it should be fine. Okay, 4, 5... that's all we really need. And I guess I'll add that in. I know super goal is fine, but I don't actually know what that does. You're able to determine that these mushrooms are edible. You fill your basket with big chunks of tasty fungus. Utopia is pleased with your haul. Great work. Okay, I'm not going to do that one because it's a dead end. You stumble upon another Squeeger Hive queen and her multitude of wriggling, oozing children. I guess it's gonna make me do this. When she sees you, her mandibles start clicking in annoyance and she puffs up angrily. She looks decidedly more dangerous than other squeegers you've seen. Seems like the thievery of her royal jelly has consequences. I guess we have to. 94! There's no way. There's no way! Oh, we're gonna have to give up, I'm sure. 3, 4. Okay. Yeah, we have no chance in this one. Okay. 3. Oh, I don't like 4. 4. 6. We're gonna have to get, like, there's no way we can get 40 off of this. Okay, 2. Well. 2, 3, 3, and 5. Yeah, we don't have a chance. We have to give up. You duck and weave, but the Squeeger Queen is too savvy for your tricks. You're blasted with a face full of insectoid acid for your efforts and leave empty-handed. Yeah, we're gonna have to go home. Well, I'm kind of upset that I couldn't make it all the way through. I would have just liked to skip that one. Okay, let's get out of here. Go home. Yes. It is late quiet. I guess we're gonna have to rest, but see if anyone is talkable just yet. We have to remember to go out and check with Dis, and I think Nami is out here a lot. Okay. There's Mars. That was the depot. Oh, there's Nami. Let's relax in the lounge. You nestle in the cushions, close your eyes, and listen to music. You have an archive of over 100 years of music to choose from, but still, you wonder what new songs they're writing these days, 10 million light years away on Earth. The only new music you've heard is when the adults have come up with a new space shanty. It's nice, good music for harmonizing with your friends as you work, but it's not really something you want in your ears all the time. Okay, I don't want to get rid of those. I wish they'd give me like 0 and 1 point cards to get rid of. Early pollen. So we did not get the stuff in time, but maybe we can get it today. Alright. Oh, we never did look. Hold on, let me look and see if anyone has thought bubbles. We did not look for bubbles from people today. Nobody. Okay. I don't see any thought bubbles. So we'll continue trying to find the Shimmer stuff. Okay, I'm not 100% sure of the way that I have gone before, but I'm pretty sure I went towards the back, so we need to move up towards the front. Because it dead-ended over there, so we have to do this. You find a healthy blep bush and harvest some of the leaves to bring back to the colony. Utopia is beyond excited when she sees your haul. "Oh, blep," she cries, shoving her hands right into the basket of rustling leaves. "Heather, you're a girl after my own heart." She pops a leaf in her mouth and chews on it, then shudders happily. "Whew," she cries, "that'll perk you up, but good. Aunt Anne brews a heck of a cup with this stuff, but me, I prefer it raw." She points at you. "Don't you go getting any funny ideas. This'll turn you green and give you spots. Cross my heart. Stay away until you're older. Chew some blep leaves." Ugh. Just because Utopia was born on Earth, she thinks she's an adult just like the rest of them. She's closer to your age than all the other adults. What does she know anyway? You wait until Utopia leaves, then shove a leaf in your mouth. Ugh. You struggle not to spit it out right away. It's so bitter. You can't help but stick out your tongue. Blep, indeed. Mysteriously, you experience a rush of giddiness a few minutes later. Whew, wow, that blep sure is good. No wonder adults keep this stuff away from kids. It's probably addictive. Okay, so... well, that's interesting. Which way do I go? Oh, there's Utopia. Was this the way I was going? Or was it that way that I was going? Oh yeah, I mean, I guess it has to be this way. Okay. I can skip Utopia, but that is a thing. Like the rest of the planet, the valley is home to some strange planet and animal life. You find Utopia puzzling over a jelly arch, a huge gelatinous arch held together by solid veins, large enough for a person to walk underneath. They don't look like animals, but you've been around long enough to realize that things aren't always what they seem. Upon closer inspection, the arches seem to pulse and breathe, even though they have no visible organs. And they're always kind of warm. It's unsettling. Now, I know this one ain't right, Utopia mutters to herself as you approach. Heather, you ever seen a jelly arch look so deflated? You take a look. It's true, this arch doesn't seem as structurally sound as the others. I'm beginning to think they're all connected, Utopia says, scratching her chin. Like runners underground, poking up every so often in waves, like this. If one's looking rough, what's going to happen to the rest? She sticks her hands in the goop, and the arch seems to cringe away as she roots around in its innards. It's got some kind of crystal structure in here, suspended in it, she says, sticking her tongue between her teeth. I wonder if it's got its nose knocked out of joint, or whatever it's got instead of a nose. The jelly arch makes a sloshing, groaning noise, its surface rippling with pain. Can it even feel pain? Or is it just a reaction to being churned up inside? Offer Utopia a crystal. Utopia hums. It can't hurt, she says, and shoves the crystal into the gelatinous mass of the arch. The arch stiffens, and Utopia shouts in alarm. Dang thing's got my arm, she exclaims. She gets her foot on the jelly arch, no longer as permeable, and hauls her arm out of it. Whew, she laughs, that'll teach me to go stick in my hand places. The jelly arch looks more healthy now, standing up proud and wibbly again. Great thinking, Heather, Utopia says. Who would have thought? Okay. So I guess we can get you. Okay, we have seen this already. I don't want to fight it. We'll wait for it to leave. We have done this one before. Another Freaky? Freakies. You come across not just one Freaky, but a whole swarm of them. Mostly just baby ones about the size of your head. They're all amassed around a massive tree, scurrying up and down the trunk. When you can see the tree itself under the swarm, you notice the same pale pink as the baby Freaky. Its tentacle-like roots meander a fairly large distance before plunging into the ground. When the Variki see you approach, they get agitated, and they look hungry. Definitely hungry. Like dozens of hungry grapefruit-sized furry pink spiders, the stuff of nightmares. Your pet Variki doesn't seem scared at all. I don't want to fight them, but I don't have that. I have to, though, if I want to get around. But I guess I could go down that way, although that has a thing, so I feel like I need that, although I feel like I need this. I don't want to fight the Variki, though. Guess I have to. 65. Okay. 5, 6. Hold on. Let's try this one, that one, and then that one. We don't want that 10 stress, but I don't think we have a choice. 2, 3, 4. Oh, I did not. I overshot, but I won anyway, I guess. Well, that wasn't so hard. You smack a couple of them to the ground, and the rest scuttle up the boughs and hide there. You puff your chest out bravely and walk. I didn't want to do that to the poor Variki. You're alone, exploring an unmapped area of the Valley of Vertigo. The pollen is thick here, and your air filter is overworked. A warning light has been flashing orange for the last 10 minutes. But there are plants here that you've never seen before, flowers with intense rainbow hues and strange lumps of fungal matter which pulse as they're breathing. You cut some samples. Utopia will totally give you kudos for these. The pollen is especially thick up ahead, deep fuchsia and shimmering with color. Everything here seems to dance with tiny flecks of reflected light. It's kind of magical. You push forward into the suffocating pink fog. It's so thick you can only see a few meters ahead. You follow the glimmering towards where it's densest. You come upon a glade filled with what seem to be strange topiaries. They loom out of the glittering fog, each in the shape of an animal. They're all formed in the same spongy, glittering pink substance and dotted with finger-length fungal growths. You're so distracted you almost fall into a large hole in the center of the glade. Let's take a sample. As you bend down to take a sample, you realize the dense shimmering haze is coming from the topiaries. The fog is seeping out of the holes at the end of each fungal growth. You break off a few of the growths into a collection vial. You remember helping Tange for extra credit in biology class. She said that the Shimmer, the seasonal illness that affects your dad in pollen, is some kind of colonizing fungal growth. Could this be related? Your envirosuit beeps a warning. Let's check for danger. You've seen plant-like animals before. Are these topiaries actually predators, waiting for you to get close? You watch them carefully from the edge of the glade. They're completely still, not breathing. There's no life signs. Good. Your envirosuit beeps a louder warning. Let's inspect the topiaries. The topiary you've chosen is a large dog-sized quadruped, which appears to be kneeling. It's far too lifelike. As you get closer, you realize with growing revulsion that this was once a living creature, now encased or transformed entirely into the sparkling pink fungus. It's dead. The more you think about it, the more you're sure this is related to the Shimmer. I can look in the hole. At the bottom of the hole is a cave. It slopes down gradually towards the cave floor, only about 4 meters below, then disappears underground. You aren't sure how far the cave continues past that point. It's dark down there, obviously, but not silent. There's some kind of strange rhythmic whirring coming from farther inside the cave. You hold up your palm and shine your hollow palm's light. The cave floor glitters with pink fungus and the air's ominously choked with it. Let's climb in the hole! You make your way down the gentle slope towards the cave. The thick shimmering pollen makes it hard to see further than your hand. You see 3 glowing vats set into the floor like neon hot tubs, and an old-fashioned mechanical interface set into the cave wall. The reflecting glow from the vat flickers on the cave ceiling, ghost-like and beautiful. You feel a strong urge to take off your mask and stay a while. Let's poke at the mechanical interface. Unmasked, you cross the cave and lay your hand on the interface. It feels spongy, almost alive. Instantly, you can feel your mind blasted open by everything, all at once, as if thousands of pairs of eyes all turn their terrible gaze upon you. You're thrown back by the shock, which brings you to your senses with a snap. The pollen. The sparkling dust feels like tiny knives in your sinuses and a heavy choking pain in your lungs. Why did you take your mask off? You slap your suit helmet back on to see the light flashing red, indicating filter overload. You lurch out of the cave and back towards the checkpoint, barely able to breathe. You know you need to get out of here, but a small part of you wants to go back down there, to stay in this glade. Forever. As you near the checkpoint, Utopia runs out to help you. You instinctively turn back, unthinking, wanting to return to the fog, to those strange statues. You collapse in her arms. Several days later, you wake. You don't remember much, just a great choking heaviness in your lungs, and the world swallowing you up and closing over your head. You have snippets of conscious thought from the last few days, but it's hard to tell if it was a dream or not. You remember your mother sitting by your bedside, her cool hand on your forehead. But she's dead. That part must have been a dream. It feels like you had a fever once, hot and sticky, achy all over like you've been boiled alive. You're still terribly weak, and there's a pain in your chest like someone has been sitting on it. It takes all of your energy just to breathe. You live, but your body took a serious hit and may never be quite the same. Get some rest. Okay, now did we get the Shimmer cell? We lost some toughness. You're woken by the buzzing of your holopalm. It's a colony-wide alert. You rub your eyes and ponder the thickness in the air seeping into your bedroom through the open veranda door. It's an ominous but beautiful sight. The seasonal pale pink haze has turned to deep fuchsia, with scintillating silver sparkles floating through it. The Shimmer. You check your holopalm. There's a colony-wide notice telling you to stay put. Let's head to the med bay. You rush to the engineering wing, trying to hold your breath as you pass through the thick clouds of pink sparkling pollen. Chief Security Rhett blocks your way into the med bay. What are you doing here? You should be in your quarters. From med bay, you hear the sound of sneezing. Your dad's sneezing. You shout for him and squirm and try to get past Rhett, but he practically lifts you off the ground. You fight until he lets you through. Hey, little aubergine, your dad rasps. He looks terrible. He's covered in the shimmer and shaking as he takes pained breaths. Chief Engineer Instance glares at you, but she doesn't tell you to leave right away. You sit beside your father's bedside. Your dad grabs your hand and pulls you close. Your awareness narrows just to the two of you, the rest of the room falling away under the gravity you feel when he locks pink-rimmed eyes with yours. Heather, my sweet little cherry tomato, he says, trying to smile at you. I don't think your old man's gonna last much longer. You sob and try to pull away in denial, but he shakes his head. You're gonna make it through this, he wheezes, his voice brittle as a dried flower. I love you so much. Instance tries to separate you so she can administer something, but your dad waves her away. He hasn't stopped staring right at you. You're the greatest thing I ever cultivated, he chokes out. You're going to be fine. I love... His eyes roll back in his head and the med bay lets out a horrible droning whine. Instance yells at you to leave so she can save him and you flee the room. When they finally let you see him again, your dad is lying in a med bay, asleep. The shimmer is all over him now and his skin is glittering and strangely lumpy, like something growing out of it. Something is growing out of him, you realize as you see Instance carefully scrape what looks like fungus from his shoulder. She places it in a petri dish and hands it to Tangent. There are tiny fungal growths all over him, even one poking out of the corner of his mouth. You watch with disgust as a thin trickle of glittering pink dust leaks from the tip of it and disperses into the air. Tange places a sample from your dad under an analyzer and turns it on. She looks tired. "I'm sorry, Heather," she mumbles. "We were close." You sit with him for a while until Dr. Instant sends you back to your quarters to rest. In the early hours of the morning, you hear your dad has passed away. You spend most of the next month in your quarters. They hold a funeral for your father. You're becoming an old hand at these funerals. First Tammy, then her father, Uncle Tonin, and your own mother, and Com, and everyone else who died in an attack. It feels like your own mother's funeral was only weeks ago. It's so colossally unfair. No one quite knows what to say to you, though they grieve along with you. It doesn't make it any easier. Auntie Sedent and all the other adults of the colony will always be here for you, but you guess you're an orphan now. You miss your dad. You miss your mom, too. Mostly, you just sleep. One morning, Chief Engineer Instance asks you to visit her in the med bay. You go because you don't have the energy to say no. "I have to tell you something delicate about your father's condition, Heather," she begins, folding her hands on her desk. "I hope this information will give you some comfort." "After your father's death, we continued to research the Shimmer," she continues, her voice even and neutral. "Being able to study the disease in its terminal phase and beyond was the missing piece. We now know how to prevent the Shimmer from taking hold in human cells," she says, her faint smile not quite reaching her eyes. "With cultures grown from your father's cell lineage, everyone in the colony can be inoculated against the Shimmer. Thanks to your father, we have a cure. Probably be numb." "It's okay to feel that way," Instance tells you with uncharacteristic kindness that you find comforting. "Grief is different for everyone. If you need more time off to rest, nobody will mind. We do need that rest. So we have to rest." You spend the month writing a prodigious amount of poetry, deleting it almost as soon as you're done. It makes you feel a little better to be able to express your feelings. Okay, let's get rid of this one. All right, well, another downer. This game is full of them. So I guess that's where we're going to go ahead and end this episode. In the next one, I guess we just continue. We're 16. I guess we only have, up to 4 years left in game time before, I guess, whatever event happens at the end. I don't really know. I feel like we were too late on the Shimmer. I feel like if we had managed to get if I had gone that direction earlier, we might have gotten it done first. Which seems to be the case for a lot of these things for me. I seem to get it done, but too late to make use of what I got. But yeah, I guess that's going to be everything for this time. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.